Bite-Sized and Bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks. Inspiration coming at you like a river flowing. Women paving paths, look at them going. Bite-Sized and Bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks.
Welcome. I'm Erin.
And I'm Tammy.
And this is Bite-Sized
Bite-Sized
and Bossy.
That was perfect.
That literally was perfect.
This episode was brought to you by Dreambox, the digital agency helping restaurant brands grow. And you can find them at wearedreambox.com. Yay.
Amazing. And we have a great guest today. I'm really excited because I just got to meet her. Like everybody else knows her, it feels like, but like literally the whole world knows this woman. And I just got introduced. So Emily Williams-Knight, who is the president and CEO of the Texas Restaurant Association, which
Huge.
So we're so excited to have you on the show. Literally, Tammy and I have been talking about you probably for the entire year we've done the podcast. And
We have?
we have. We literally said we should have her on the show. Like I think
that is
two
true.
or three people
That is true.
suggested she should come on. So we're excited you're here.
Oh, I love that.
So in that way, she's right. I was like, have we been talking about her?
Yeah,
We have been saying,
talk
yes,
about
get her on the
behind your
show.
back all the time. But Emily, welcome. And for those at home that don't know you, because I was like, I can't wait to meet her. I've never met her, or like maybe she has a lot of security guards. I don't know. If you could introduce yourself for our listeners, that would be great.
Yeah, sure. So, Emily, I am really blessed. I get to be the president and CEO of the Texas Restaurant Association. So the way to think about my job and the team that I'm blessed to lead is we protect and advance now 58,000 restaurants in our great state, about 1.4 million employees that we need to make sure get to go to work every day, and about $137 billion in economic impact. So whether it be at the federal level with our partners at the National Association, here at the state or local level, we do every bit of lobbying, every bit of protecting and education and resources to make sure that the restaurant and food service industry can continue to thrive here in Texas.
So how does one get this job? Did you work in restaurants? Were you a lawyer? Like, how do you end up there? I can tell you, I've done some work with the California Restaurant Association, and it seems like a lot of those people are restaurant operators themselves and then grow into those kind of roles.
Yeah, like Jot, my colleague in California, I think my story was really unique. I mean, I truly believe that I was put in this job. My sort of whole life, I'd come out of my undergrad in hospitality at Boston University. My dream since third grade was to run a hotel. I always loved people. I always loved caring for people. And then I did lots of things. I helped build programs for hospitality around the world. I was a college president. I had done all sorts of things, including
You were a college president? Like a college,
Not a sorority president.
No, I wish. No, definitely not a sorority girl. But yeah, I was a college president at Kendall College in Illinois, which is known for culinary and hospitality, and
like the president of the college.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
It was
this
very
is such a unique
cool.
career path.
Yeah. So I think that's how I ended up here, really. I think God knew the pandemic was coming, and they're like, hey, we need someone who likes to fight and to win and is going to protect us. And 6 months before, I end up in the seat of a role that I never imagined.
Okay, wait a minute.
Like God's timing.
So you not only joined restaurants like a sort of this crazy job, and then it was 6 months before COVID. So you were in the place to have to help guide thousands of restaurants into how to handle that. Talk about
overnight.
that.
Overnight.
Just shut down. We don't know what's going to happen. Just like hope it's okay.
Yeah, I'll never forget. It was nuts. And ironically, my colleague and I just did an interview for the Library of Congress because they wanted us to go back and rehash the early days for the archives. I mean, that's how people forget.
Do you have a little bit of amnesia about that? Like the early days,
PTSD.
like I feel like even the first 2 weeks of COVID, I've blacked out.
Not me. I was like smoking weed and drinking rosé.
Oh my God. I literally thought the world was ending. I feel like I blacked it out.
I think no. And I think what was interesting is that everybody had a decision to make that day. I remember getting a call from the governor's office. We're going to shut it down. And we sort of had two paths, right? Hide and wait for it to end, or because I believed that no one had an answer, create the roadmap and do it yourself. And so we just started to fight. I had never been to the Capitol. I had never met the governor. I was in a brand new state as far as moving back from Illinois. And we just had a beautiful reopening. We had a lot of loss, but I really believe that if you didn't fight in that moment and believe that those restaurants needed a voice, that's why some of the states, I think, were a little bit further behind, and we had a great reopening. It wasn't perfect, but we made it through.
So in your role, is it like an elected role? Like, how do you keep your job every year, right? Because I think I've got some friends that are on the board. We know some people in common on the last board, and then I think there's a new board that just got inducted, right? So how do you keep your job, essentially?
Yeah, exactly. So everyone thinks I just sort of get to do what I get to do, and it's not true. So I actually report to a board. We have over 100 board members. And so you can just imagine navigating that. But I'm really blessed. We built the board and redid a lot of the bylaws when I arrived to make sure that we had every sector of the industry, but also every region of Texas. We're a massive state. And so I report to them. They help set the strategy with the team. And every year I'm measured on the impact I make, both financially for the organization itself, making sure that we are solvent and can remain effective. And then we're measured on the impact we make, which is all the policy, all the advocacy. And thankfully, we've had 7 incredible years here in Texas.
That's fantastic. And I have some friends that are like vendors that are on the board. And so I think that the Texas Restaurant Association's board makeup is interesting in its size and its composition. So like if somebody out there were listening and wanted to get more involved, it sounds like you don't even have to live in Texas. Is that correct?
Why is it interesting? Is that why it's interesting? Is they bring other people from outside?
It's like the board is huge compared to other states, and it's also not all operators, which some states have some of those rules too.
Okay.
And some people that are on the board do not live or operate in Texas. So I just think that if somebody wanted to get exposure, like a gal out there that's listening and says, I'd like to learn more.
I'm going to join the Texas Restaurant Association board now.
That's what I'm talking about.
From Wisconsin. Let's go.
So talk to us a little bit about sort of how that board is made up and, why it's like this. And if somebody wanted to get more involved, how would they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So our structure, in order to cover this type of geography, right, and the amount of, think about it, almost 60,000 businesses, we have 2 structures or 2 components that make up our board of directors. And so you've got people that operate restaurants across the state, and they're organized by geography. So we have 20 chapters. If you take the state, you get down to like Lubbock, Amarillo, McAllen, right? Texas is very unique. And so we want to have those voices. And so they come through their chapter and they're delegates to the state board. They have our local board as well. And then we have different categories: franchisees, chains, allied partners. We can't be in this business without our partners, right? The folks that are outside of the delivery of the food in the restaurant every day are critical to our success. So having their voices there matter too. There are individual slots depending on the year. People apply. We're really blessed. We have more people apply than we have spots. And so the governance committee interviews everybody. They make a recommendation to the executive committee, and then the full board votes on every new member. Wow. And so every year there's about 10 openings, and they're highly competitive. And that's what we want, is we want people that really want to help the industry.
Erin, that's why it was interesting, because I'm like,
that is interesting. Like you were totally right.
I think you should start it as a pageant, and they could do like a bikini competition.
Oh, absolutely
like
not.
Secret talent. This would be far more interesting.
We have a no bathing suit rule because I'm the CEO. It's not happening.
Nobody. That's actually, let's talk about women. Let's talk about women in restaurants and what you've seen. Let's be honest, a little bit of our prep call was about women navigating this space, right? Mm-hmm. Especially executive women. And you've navigated the space really well as well. Like, what do you see or hear or have advice for women who are out there trying to figure out, what do I do?
Where's my spot? How do I do it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you a quick story, which I think says a lot about the situation I walked into here. And so when I was interviewing for the job, I'd flown back from London. I was based in London at the time. I flew back in. I coached my daughter's basketball game. was exhausted, and then took a 5 a.m. flight to Austin, did this interview, my last interview, landed back in Dallas, and the chairman of the board called me. I remember exactly the gate I was standing at in the airport, and he said, "We want to offer you the job." And my first thing was, "Are you doing this because I'm a woman?" It's my first question.
Oh.
And he said, "That's an interesting question." And I said, "It's important to me that I'm being hired for me." And he said, "I don't want to be disrespectful, Emily, but we didn't see you as a woman or a man. We saw you as the next incredible leader for our organization." And it really struck me for two reasons. I think one, my whole life, I've sort of navigated, the female thing, right? But I never made it my identity. And I think that's always the first lesson, right? So I didn't walk into any room, whether it be the president of Kendall College or when I came here and there were very few women involved. It was always just about believing that I was the best candidate. And I think that's one for women, is to realize you have to come to the table as you are the best leader. And I think identifying yourself as that is number one, because you don't put yourself into a bucket or a category.
But how do you do that? Do you show up with no makeup and suppress your breasts, like no high heels? How do we do this?
No, I think you just,
how?
Yeah. I mean, I think, first of all, you understand who you are, right? Like I've figured out maybe later in life, right, who I am and what matters to me. But I've always, maybe being raised by a very strong mom or being raised and having a very supportive husband, it was just go do the work. And so I never worried about showing up as someone that somebody needed or to fit. I just showed up as myself. And I think sometimes that authenticity of just realizing that we need men and women to be successful, it doesn't make you polarizing, right? It doesn't make you somebody that is nuclear because you're afraid to be around them. I just sort of show up and be me. And whether you like me or not, there's plenty of people who don't, right? I'm not everyone's brand. But if you're authentic, I just think you're a better leader. And so I never tried to fit in a box, man, woman, or otherwise. I think that's probably the most important thing. And I think the second thing is you have to believe you have a seat at the table, right? You have to believe you deserve to have a seat at the table. I was told long ago that if there's meetings going on that you should be at and that you're not invited to, that you walk in anyway, but you do it with the energy of, always take the empty seat. Women, we tend to do this. Like if there's I noticed on my own team doing it. If there's a table and everyone walks in and there's a couple empty seats, but there's seats on the outside.
They take the outside.
Women go to the outside.
Always take the outside.
I know, doesn't it piss you off? Yeah. You're like, get at the table.
Get at the table.
Yeah, I'm doing it so that I can text with my friends and ignore what's happening.
Oh my God.
No, I'm just teasing. It's really to look at pictures people are sending me.
Yeah. And I think too, I'll also add too is right, not being offended or looking for every problem. Okay. Right. And I hate to say that and I grew up playing sports. I think it's a huge thing for women, especially if you've got young girls.
Was it
right?
basketball?
I played basketball. I still play basketball. I love it. I'm not as good, but
you early in my play career, basketball?
You what? Yeah, I still play. I like to play pickup and I go to games whenever I can. They'll find me some gym here locally. And I'm sure they're like, who is this woman? Her kids are in college, but I still go back to watch the kids. I love it. I'm obsessed.
That's so
with
cool.
basketball.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, are you following? Take you to like inner city New York and be like, Emily's here. She wants to play basketball.
Are you following?
That's where I first played, believe it or not. That's where I first played, was on one of those courts in New York. And I was the only girl that showed up and I was called the girl then. Yeah.
Well, do you follow any of the like women's basketball? Because I think there's a couple, like the gal from, I'm thinking Iowa. I have a friend who's a gal that's really into.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Caitlin Clark. And
Caitlin Clark, yeah.
So I'm a diehard UConn Husky all the way. Go to the Final Four every year. Love it. It's my go-to. Yeah. So I love
didn't know what it was. I thought it was 4 different basketball games. But I've gone and it's very fun.
It is very fun.
Well, so what's happening on the home front? Like, are you married, kids? I think I think your journey to being a mom could be really interesting for someone who's very career driven, and you could share that if you're open to it.
Of course. Yeah. So married my high school sweetheart.
Oh my God. And you're still married?
30 years.
Whoa,
been married.
Whoa, gross.
30 years, which shocks me
so long.
I'm just thinking about my high school sweetheart too, Erin, and yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, gross.
I think Emily's is
where they are now. Ew.
Well, funny, I was raised military and then I ended up marrying someone. He went to the Coast Guard Academy. And so we met, he had graduated a couple years before me. And then we got married, moved to Key West, and, life was great. And like anyone, every female, right? You think you're going to go to college or whatever it is that you do, then you get married and you have a baby. And so that time started for us. And I think it was almost 5 years later, and a lot of incredible physicians and just emotional trauma. Let's be honest, through IVF, I was blessed with my twin daughters, which, it was baby A and baby B. That's all I had left. And so they are a miracle, and they're 20 now.
That's
amazing. And they're kind.
Wait,
and
you went through
smart
IVF like for 5 years? For 5 years you went through.
I was almost just under 4 years of IUIs and IVFs and surgeries.
Most people don't make it like 1 year before they go, I think
Crazy,
I need to give up. Like 5 years is like, that had to have been mentally and probably physically a struggle.
Yeah, probably physically first, more than mentally. I didn't realize that I was actually going down a bad path. Like most type A women, I just worked harder because I couldn't fix this in my life. And then I was introduced to a woman at Harvard Institute of Mind Body who convinced me that my mind body connection mattered. I thought it was a bunch of crap, and she wasn't wrong. And so they still don't know why I couldn't conceive. And I tried to manage a really big team. I was flying across the country, giving myself injections on flights.
And
it was horrible.
The hormones that go through that, like you had to have been, I mean, I know you said you grew up military and stuff, but like that's a lot.
It's tough. If you know of anyone, and nobody, this is 20 years ago. So now let's call it 25. People didn't talk about it. You weren't allowed to share. And if you're a type A
it was
achiever,
like a test tube baby, and people would call it those kind of names, like as if it was a less than.
To be fair, people still don't talk about it, I don't think, openly enough. So I think
we need to talk about it.
I feel like my friend set does, because a lot of the women that I hang out with did not have kids earlier in life, and so they're trying to have them later. They're more career driven, and so then it becomes harder at that age, or we're spending thousands of dollars to freeze our eggs, right?
Yep.
So I think Gen X, which it sounds like you and I are both at least part of that. We are breaking the mold.
I'm close.
You are younger.
You're younger.
Yeah,
you are younger. So you don't want to be Gen X. Trust me.
Fair. I'm close. I'm almost.
Yeah, you're there. I would just say really too, for listeners, like try to be really extra supportive, right? Like that's the thing I learned in this, is that we ask people to show up and do the job, but life doesn't separate, right? I call it the blend, for me, it all comes together. And I worked for some incredible men during that journey that they said, I don't know how to help you, Emily, but whatever you need, we're here, right? It was like, we don't really want to talk about it, but we're here for you. And I am always going to be grateful. And I had someone on my own team that was dealing with this, and your outlook of giving him that space, you can still do great work while you're achieving this. You just might need to have a little more flexibility, but it kept me with my company for a long time.
I mean, I know you ended by having babies, but like my heart literally aches for you. Like I want to cry, because 5 years of IVF is like, I can't imagine.
It's a lot.
I had a girlfriend who she had like 7 miscarriages. Like the alternative,
you just kept going. You just kept going.
I think if you meet people that have been through IVF, if it's 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, the minute there's 2 parts of that, right? One is that something that fundamentally you're supposed to be able to do as a woman, you can't. So first you have to get your head around that. And then the second is that for me, I was undiagnosed. And so they don't know why or what happened. We never able to have any more. That's why these twins are so special to us. But I think you just get so tough. I mean, I've done a couple talks to women's group of women currently in it. There's Resolve, it's called, which is a great national organization. And people just can't get it unless you're in it. And so whatever you can do to be kind and empathetic, it's the greatest thing for a woman to accomplish if this is what they want in their life. And so you got to give them the space and realize how hard it is. And you're already drowning in everything you're dealing with. And then to worry about your job or your career, like take that off the table for your employees, like give them that grace at the minimum.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how you handled it. And I already forgot, because I was so caught up in the IVF time of how old these twins are now.
Yeah. My girls just turned 20.
That's almost legal for drinking.
I can't believe
Oh God, don't tell me that.
What are their names?
They're what?
What are their names?
So I have Olivia and Elizabeth, or we call them Ellie and Ollie.
Oh,
Oh,
adorbs.
Yeah, they're amazing. They're everything. I think both have tried to call while this podcast has been going. We do a lot of
You
calling all
want to
day
take a
long.
call because that's sort of like
yeah. Like you
that's
totally
par for
can
the
talk to them if
course,
you wanted.
especially if it's your
We
kids.
could FaceTime them in if you needed to.
Yeah, they've learned, right? If mom hits the later button, they know I'm busy.
They're like, we're busy. All right. Are they in college? What's going on?
Yeah, so I have one that's at the University of Alabama. She is a rower, so she's on the rowing team, which is the toughest sport there is. She's a scholarship athlete there. And then I have an Aggie who is at Texas A&M, and is just a beautiful soul and does lots of mission work. And it's just, they're great. They're really great.
Your kids sound amazing. And also the fact that you started this podcast by saying, I think God knew I needed to be here for COVID.
Yeah.
I love the way you tell that story.
Yeah.
So like everything about you, I'm just like, I have no question here. Tammy's going to have to ask the next question because I'm like literally over here, like fangirling.
When you're not being a baddie, which is what we call a badass, when you're not being a baddie,
that's what kids say.
In your day job, what do you do for fun? Like, how does Emily relax?
Oh, I always struggle on this question because
why?
Because it's an area of growth.
She doesn't. She's type A. There's
Oh.
no relaxation for her.
I need to figure that out, Tammy. It's if I'm just super honest, right?
Yeah.
I have worked and raised my kids, and that's it. And so
they're almost off payroll. You got to find a way to fill the time.
You know what? I'm going to just admit this now. People that really know me well know this, but I am the greatest animal lover you'll meet.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have fallen in love. So I have this dream job. When I'm done working, I want to be a zookeeper.
Amazing.
Like Matt Damon in that movie.
Amazing.
Yeah, and there's this guy, this little pygmy hippo named Mars from this wildlife park in Kansas that about 3 months ago, the world, imagine our jobs as state leaders, we get a lot of the bad, right? So politics, closure, just a lot of the really hard stuff. And so in order to stay sane, I sort of went back to my roots. I loved, I worked on a horse farm growing up. Like I love animals. And so I've just my feed is now just full of nothing but goodness of animals. And so I'm like, when I'm done this restaurant gig, I'm going to go work at a zoo, and I'm going to be the first person the animals see in the morning, and I'm going to bring them joy and love. And like, so I'm like literally researching like certificates for animal welfare. And like, so I do need a hobby. Yeah.
Babies and bunnies. That's what I'll take in.
Okay. Babies and bunnies.
Babies and animals.
That's what my feed has too. I feel you.
Exactly.
Oh, too funny.
Good for the soul.
Are you going to be at this Whirl event?
I am, and I'm going to speak, and I'm really excited because
what are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
So I'm on a panel, and it's really about motherhood, and it's about, I know now even having employees that have just had children, right? It's really hard. A, you can't afford childcare because it's outrageous. B, it's not even available in some places, quality. But then how do you keep building your career when you can't seem to be great as a mom or great as a worker, right? Like it's really hard. And I feel like now that I've launched my two, I made a lot of mistakes, but I did some things right. And so we're hoping to just share really raw, like the reality.
What's a spoiler alert?
Erin needs some tips.
Yeah.
She's a mom.
How do you handle it? Because how do you not feel like a failure all the time between work and kids?
You're not a failure.
You accept that you're a failure because anything in balance means things have to be equal. And I literally one day I woke up and I thought I was in a global role for most of their life, right? Until about 14. And so we're talking about like, I would set these parameters. Okay, I'm only going to be gone 7 days. That was the rule, 7 days. And I can remember like one time racing home from Australia, hitting LA, changing planes and watching the little plane on the back of my seat because I had like 3.5 hours to get in the door. So it would be one. My kids were 2. They couldn't even tell time. So one is I took all the self-imposed restrictions that I had created for myself. I accepted that I was going to miss things. I just wouldn't miss the big things. That's how I got my head around it. And then I did like, this is going to sound crazy, but like when I would travel, the kids always wanted gifts, right? More stress for mom. Finally figured out like, I'll just do the Australia trip. Flew to Australia. First day I got there, went to Amazon.com, ordered 2 koalas, I don't know, a kangaroo stuffed animal. And then my husband and I had a trick. I get to the front door every time. The girls were like, Mom. He took my suitcase, shoved everything in it, said to the kids, they went for their gifts, opened them up, everything was there. They have no idea. I'm sure if they listen to this, they'll be horrified. But like all these like time saving and like things.
They're going to be in therapy after this.
I know, they're like, that kangaroo was not real. But like these little things, like letting go of my husband buying the birthday gift for the party and it wasn't right. And being like, you know what?
They never do it right.
Yeah.
No,
but it's like,
so what? You didn't
okay.
have to do it. It's okay.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And so there's all these little things, you know, that just make it just a little easier if you accept that it's really hard to have.
You relinquished control, you delegated,
yes,
and you found efficiencies, which
and
is also
and you gave yourself some grace.
Yeah. Like you,
yes,
it's unbelievable what you were able to achieve. And I hope your daughters do listen to this and realize, to me, that also sounds like how hard their mom worked to be their mom.
And they don't appreciate it when they're younger, but as they get older, like I know,
maybe at 20,
I think about the times I called. My mom worked at Kmart when I was a kid, and I think about all the times I called her, Mom, Jeff's doing this, Mom, Jeff's doing that, Mom. And I think, you know, I know Erin gets phone calls sometimes and we give her some shit. And so I'm like, that would really suck. That would really suck. How would I do my job if my kids kept calling me every 30 minutes? Or
and your heart hurts. Your heart hurts. You want to help your kids, but you also are trying to find the line of like, what's the right thing to do as a mom? What's the right thing to do as a human? And also, hey, I also have this job.
Well, so we've heard from a lot of the successful women that we've had on the podcast that a big part of their success is attributed to choosing the right partner.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like you married your high school sweetheart
for 30 years.
And he is clearly doing some stuff with sticking the gifts in the luggage. And
I know. Wow. What an overachiever.
So I
know he's amazing. And it takes a lot. He was a stay-at-home dad for 10 years. Was in the financial industry, you know, left the military, financial industry, realized we were paying more on childcare than we were making back in the day. And he's like, what if I just stayed home? And it was like, oh, I don't know. And listen, that's good and bad, right? Because you're asking a spouse to give up their career. It's man or a woman. It may be harder for men. It's not as accepted.
Agreed.
But looking 100%. Back now, I'm super grateful because my girls are balanced.
And he went
strong.
back. So he went back to work?
I was at a gathering recently and I heard him tell someone, you know, now that I'm retired. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't. What did you just say?
Stayed home for dad for 10 years and then you retired. Oh, that's so.
You just haven't told him that you're going to like buy a zoo later.
Yeah. And I'm like, what about my zoo plan?
He's going to work the ticketing and all the books and
there you go.
The finances.
I love it.
My family used to joke about creating a compound and we assigned roles to everyone. So you can have an animal compound.
I would love an animal compound. Yes.
Tammy, I think we're ready for food for thought. Like we've been talking and like you are so easy to talk to. I think I could talk to you for hours.
Oh, yay. I love that. This is fun.
Yeah. So it's meant to be fun. Like, and hopefully whoever is listening is
also
it shouldn't
having
be
fun.
Painful. Yeah. Well, if it's painful, we're doing
There's
it
enough
wrong.
painfulness in our daily days.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
That would be bad.
Okay, so this is going to be really hard for you because you have familiarity with a lot of restaurants. So what is your favorite restaurant that isn't one that you like work with or for, that's just like where I like to go? It can be a chain, it can be an independent. Like give a shout out to a restaurant that you love.
So I'm going to go with Matt's El Rancho in Austin. It's classic Mexican. I love the people that work there. I love the owners, the story. It's a great Austin vibe. I take my team. It's casual fun, but it just seems to be one of. I mean, I have 58,000, right?
Is there only one, or is there like multiple?
There's one original Matt's in Austin, and then there's another one in Dallas. But the original Matt's is the one in Austin.
We got to go to Rodeo Goat and now to
we have
Matt's.
so many restaurants to go to.
Oh, trust me. Imagine how many people invite me to go to their restaurant and I want to go to all of them.
Nobody invites me. I just show up. Like I'm just like,
well, I'll invite you, Erin. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Yeah, nobody invites me because now I can't eat garlic and I'm just no fun to dine with.
Oh,
yeah, no, she sucks.
That's terrible. Erin, you're up.
All right. Can you name all the signs behind you? Because that's a lot of placards.
Oh, no, those are just
that is crazy.
Those are just degrees, Erin.
Those are just degrees.
That's how many degrees you have? Are those all degrees?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Emily, all right. Sorry. Let's just like rewind for a hot second. That's how many degrees you have.
Yeah. So my husband has a bachelor's and master's, and then I
Mm-hmm.
have a associate's, bachelor's, master's, doctorate.
Wow.
So I earned my
Well,
doctorate
it
when
makes
I was
sense
the
that
president.
you're
Were we
smarter.
supposed to be
That makes
calling
sense.
you like Dr. Williams Knight this whole
Oh,
time?
people call me that, and I'm like, no, just call me Emily. Like Emily's much better. Yeah.
I'd love to call you Emily in Paris and then come visit you.
Oh,
I know. I do love that
Yeah,
show.
let's go. Me too. I am like, my heart literally started racing because I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, only
9, 10,
4 are
11, 12.
mine.
Okay.
Only 4.
There's at least 12 placards that I can see behind. Oh, there's another one. All right, 13.
It's hilarious. I should just use my thing. I don't know how to put my
I don't
backdrop
even know.
on.
Do you know
No,
that like
you're
on the
fine.
top of my shelf in the highest corner of my office is my college degree? Because I was like, am I supposed to hang this up? Like, I don't
I
even know what to do with
know. When I was in academia, I always had them hung up, and then I'm proud of it though. I think
You
anybody
should
would
be proud of it.
You
know?
were the president.
You should be proud of it. I have mine hanging behind me. You can only
See,
see
you can
one.
see it.
Oh, there you
Look
go.
at all
She
yours.
used to have her headshots there.
Oh no, the headshots are still there. They're just hidden because I don't want people to see those. It's a special treat that is reserved for when you visit the inn.
They're my
Aw.
favorite thing in the whole wide world about you. They're so
My
great.
headshots.
Yes,
Oh
I
my
love them
god,
so
I'm
much.
totally hiding them.
Oh.
You know, you can't live in LA and be remotely attractive and not give it a shot at acting. So I tried.
Oh.
Turns out
Mhm.
I'm terrible. I can't remember shit. Go
That's
figure.
her pageant comment.
Right. I'm not meant to be an actress. The only thing I'm good at is being me, and I don't know how to be anybody else.
That's the
You're
best
so
we can
good.
do.
All right,
Yeah.
Tammy,
Right?
you're up.
Oh, am I? Okay. Where is your favorite country that you want to visit?
The Galapagos. I want to go to the Galapagos Islands.
Where's
not
that?
a country.
Have you heard about the Nat Geo tour?
Yeah, that's what I want to do, but it's so expensive.
It's
So I want to go there, and I want to go to Antarctica.
Okay, I have
All
a
right,
friend
I
that
know
did the
where
Antarctica.
Antarctica is. All right, I have no idea any of the words you guys just said.
The
Aaron knows about
Galapagos are
Wisconsin.
islands off the coast of South America, Latin America, that are just under tremendous pressure. But it's like just nothing but an animal and wildlife sanctuary.
Oh, that makes
And
sense. We want to open a zoo
beauty.
too.
And yeah, I've
It's
been
just
lucky.
been-
My jobs have taken me all over. I love travel, but that's one place I haven't been that I want to go.
Yeah, I would like
You
to
were
do that
just-
too.
I think I have a girl crush.
If anybody's listening and wants to sponsor a trip to the Galapagos Islands,
Yeah.
you've got 3 willing participants.
Yes.
Well, even write like
I
a
can't
travel
even say the
blog.
name,
Oh,
but
we'd do a lot for a free trip to the Galapagos.
oh. All right. Well, so our last question we always ask everyone is if you could nominate a woman or women that you would like to hear on this podcast, because we're so happy that people nominated you to come on, who would you nominate?
I would nominate Tracy Vaught. Tracy is a restaurateur with her husband Hugo and a James Beard finalist, and her daughter Sophia now is learning the business. They have a number of independent restaurants in Houston. She is this quiet yet incredibly effective, kind woman that has done a remarkable job building this business with her husband.
Wait,
And I
what's the
think it's
restaurant name?
So it's Hugo's.
Hugo's. Okay.
Hugo's is one of the many. I think they have 5 now. It's H-Town Restaurant Group is the umbrella brand.
Okay.
But I just find her, like she always says she learns from me, and I learn so much from her. So she comes up and testifies on behalf of the restaurant industry. She puts herself out there when so many won't, for the betterment of the industry. And I just find her the most lovely, really remarkable woman. And I think that others should, especially from an independent restaurant side, I think they would learn a lot listening to her. I know I would.
That's so beautiful.
We had a franchisee on recently who was incredible. Like met her husband at Mandy, I forget her last name, but met her husband at 16 working in a shop and now is like 60 franchises herself. There's so many great stories out there and we are just trying to get them told.
Yes. And we would love an introduction. So
I would love to.
Let's roll. But Thank you so much. Emily Williams Knight, which sounds like a celebrity's name. And as far as I'm concerned, you are a celebrity because let's be honest, everybody who's talked to me about you talks like, oh, you don't know her?
She's
and I'm
amazing.
like, who's the secret lady that I haven't
met?
Oh,
no. I just, just me. Like, I just bring some joy and kindness to the world, right? Like, that's all we can do.
That's probably why everyone said I needed to meet you. And I'm so glad that you joined us today. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, both of you.
Yes.
Thank you. And anyone listening at home, like, share, subscribe, review us, anything
Only
you want to do.
5 stars.
Yeah. Or just send us an email. Tell us, raise your hand. And women out there, raise your hand. So we're excited that you listened today. And we'll see you next week.
Bite-Sized and Bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks.